Hi there. Hello. Good morning. Well, the last 2 days, I'm sorry I wasn't able to really be present for practice. I actually had several more feet of snow and we had power outages. And so I missed the other day. Rowan and I tried to do snow practice. I think some of you saw our attempt, but the power kept going out. So hopefully you got to catch some of it. And then yesterday again, it was like in and out. So I just didn't get into it. But here we are. I'm here today and we're doing it. So we are at the end of the 21 Taras. I'm not going to be here tomorrow or Monday because it's a travel weekend for me. I wanted to just toss out there for anybody who is going to be around tonight. I'm going to be on a podcast. It's called Witches and Wine, and it's at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll share the link today. So if you'd like to, you know, see what happens, I don't know if I have any wine in my house, but I think I've got a beer. So, I can sit and still enjoy. Um, and then at let's see. And then I next week I'm actually going to be in Seattle for the Spring Mysteries with ATC Wicca, and I'm also going to be at Gaia's Temple on Sunday, the 6th, for a presentation about Isis. So those are both in Seattle. So if there are any folks in Seattle who would like to come out and hang out, connect, I'd love to see you, would love to, get together, maybe have dinner, something like that, or come please to the Spring Mysteries. It's a recreation of the Eleusinian Mysteries and Gaia's Temple on Sunday. I'm really excited to be there with Reverend Judith Laxer. She's the one who hosts Gaia's Temple, and I'm presenting at Spring Mysteries. My presentation will be on Friday at 5, and it will be about Eleusis. I'll be sharing photos from the site and a little bit of a discussion about the history of Eleusis, which actually they call in Greece, they call Elefsina. So if you're interested in that and you're in the Seattle area, it's not too late to get tickets. Come on out. Okay, so we are on Tara number 17 because I missed a little today, this week. But homage to you with feet stamping, Ture, fully presenting the form of the Hung seed. You caused the three worlds to all be a tremble, including Mount Meru, Mandara, and Vindhya. And from Tara Mandala website, homage to Tara Pakmenuma, boundless subduer who binds enemies, robbers, thieves, and hunters. Om tare tutare ture hung hung bam ho swaha. So bam ho is the mantric convention of caging, entrapping, or subduing. So when we hear like za hung bam ho in a ritual or hung hung bam ho, there's also a mudra hung hung bam ho that goes along with it. I think that's how it is. And what this basically means is I've built a box and I'm putting you in it. And if you are an enemy, a thief, a liar, a cheat, a murderer, a hunter, a killer, a criminal, if you're a demon, you go in that box. And now you've basically contained. And you're not saying like, I'm binding you to me. You're basically saying, I'm keeping you from causing harm. I'm putting these actions into a container where they can't cause harm. And why would we do this? Because if we see harm happening, we know that that's going to result in karmic suffering. By putting a border or a boundary around it, we take on the karma ourselves of holding and containerizing, so that worse karma of a crime or a murder or something like that can't go forward. So Pakme Nunma is peaceful and golden red in color. She's like a saffron color, and she's like clouds at sunrise. With her magical power, she subjugates bandits, robbers, thieves, hunters, and all enemies, establishing sentient beings in bliss. Upon her Utpala flower is a stupa. The stupa is the three-dimensional representation of a mandala that generally contains relics of high lamas and crystals and coins and shells and thousands and millions of mantras written on paper. And it's all put inside of the stupa. And a stupa is put in a place where there is sort of like waves of crime, or where a negative thing has happened, like a war or a battle, or where there's an area that would be subject to bandits, or in a place where the earth spirits are unfriendly. You put a stupa, and the stupa pacifies the area. So she carries the stupa on her Utpala flower. From the hung syllable at her heart, rays of light in the form of countless hung syllables radiate out. Peaceful and quick to tame sentient beings, she stamps her 2 feet on the earth. So she will come stomping in, place the stupa, subjugate all negative energies, pull them in, transform them with that syllable hung at her heart. That syllable hung is the syllable of culmination. So she's bringing the negativity to an end and then radiating that syllable hung out into the world as a form of pacification. So that's our Tara for today. Pakme Numa, Hung Hung Bam Ho. And let's see what our card is for today. Oh, and I also have a book to share with you all. Rowan is helping me go through my books, which is such a great thing. I'm very valuable help. I'm very grateful. And we pulled out this little treasure, which is called The Golden Rosary of Tara. It's by Taranatha, otherwise known as Vajranatha, otherwise known as John Mirren Reynolds. He has written extensively about Bön, the shamanic tradition of Tibet, and Vajrayana. The preface to this is by the late Namkhai Norbu Rinpoche. And what's really great about this book, this is a book about Tara and Arya Tara and her representations in the world, how she appears in worldly ways, and it's a sadhana for her. It's a ritual for her, and it describes the protection from the various terrors. It provides the various different explanations of Tara and the tantras. Anyway, it's a very valuable little text. I think for anybody who's interested in learning more about Tara and her root origins, this is a very good book. Golden Rosary of Tara, prefaced by Namkhai Norbu. It's the Shangshung edition. It looks like this one was published in Italy. And it's by Vajranatha, but he called himself Taranatha for this. And what I like about it is that it originates in the Shangshung Valley of Tibet, where a philosophical and magical approach originated that then split into two branches, Bonpo and Buddhism. So Bonpo is the shamanic tradition of Tibet. It's the precursor to Buddhism. It was there before, and it has its root in this philosophical principle of Dzogchen, which originates in the Shangshung Valley, Then later on, when Buddhism comes to Tibet, it seamlessly blends into and incorporates that same principle of Dzogchen. Vajranatha he's got it going on. He knows what he's doing. So I thought I'd just share. All right, so now let's do our card. Oh, we're back with Dorje Drolo, the crazy wisdom, wrathful Buddha. Let go of being logical. A higher wisdom will guide you. Oh, I love that teaching. We really lock ourselves down in our minds, thinking everything needs an explanation. At a certain point, everything needing an explanation becomes a samsara of its own. Dorje Drolo is one of the 8 manifestations of Padmasambhava, a historical figure who is considered to be the archetype embodiment of all the accumulated knowledge, wisdom, love, and power of the Buddhist tradition. He rides through the jungle of life on a tigress, and he holds a purba, a magical dagger, for this work. Padmasambhava was instrumental in establishing Buddhism in Tibet, bringing it from India in the 8th century. As he traveled through the land, he encountered many demons and spirits intent on blocking his process, and they knew his work was very powerful. 13 times he appeared as Dorje Drolo to subdue the harmful spirits of the lands and to turn them on the path of Buddhism. He was, in a way, a proselytizer of the best kind, convincing demons to come to the aid of the Dharma teachings rather than inhibiting them. These creatures are the origins of many of the demonic deities that one sees in Tibetan tankas, horrific monsters from our worst nightmares who are then turned into pussycats. Padmasambhava had 8 major manifestations, that is, 8 energetic states that he can take on as a teacher. He transforms his teaching approach for each situation in order to teach in whatever way will work for different students and different times. Dorje Drolo is an example of Padmasambhava's reputation of working outside the norms of a culture, a man who has discarded the path of normal logical convention. There is a term in Buddhism called crazy wisdom, and he personifies this quality. So, this is, as we saw the last time that we got this card, we talked about how this is the wisdom of like dashing the rice bowl on the floor and having the instantaneous moment of this is enlightenment. And it's the the teacher inserting a curse word in the middle of an otherwise really serious teaching, or it's the principle of a teacher being able to, utilize like a completely off the wall situation in order to convey the lesson. Crazy wisdom is like really, I think, where the rubber meets the road in terms of if the teachings are true, right, they aren't necessarily only true in logical settings. They're also true in illogical settings. So if you encounter a setting in which things are off the rails, wild, out of control, not actually anything like normal, that the ability to recognize that the Dharma is there too is your crazy wisdom. So I have a really good example of this. I read a sort of, it's like kind of like a Reader's Digest story, but it's an anecdote about a man who wanted to bring his 2 tantric teachers to visit him and, to teach in his city. And he booked a rental space so that they would have a place to do their teachings. It was a husband and wife teacher. And they were elderly and very proper. And as they were walking from the parking lot to the ceremonial space, the lecture space, all of a sudden the man realized, oh, that they were like walking kind of along a street, that there was like drug deals going on, and there was like you know prostitution, and there was like sort of other activities on this street, and he felt so nervous, and he said, oh my gosh, to his teachers, I'm so sorry that I brought you this way to get to the hall. And the woman teacher said, why are you sorry? And he said, because, it's not really the best neighborhood. Like, the place that we're going is really nice, but this neighborhood is a little bit iffy. And the woman said, I think this is heaven. And he said, how can it be heaven? There's like drug deals happening, and like people soliciting your husband as he's walking down the street. Like, what, how can this be heaven? And the woman just smiled and said, because heaven is a place where one's needs are easily met. Crazy wisdom. Learning to see this way. It's a way of seeing. It's a way of looking at phenomena. It's a way of trusting in the perfection, even of the things that don't make sense, even of the things that we would otherwise sometimes judge. So that it's like, and I think that the way that crazy wisdom manifests is very particular. It's not quite the same as spiritual bypassing. Like, I want to just make a caveat here, because, for example, like, I can see where pain in my own life had a purpose. Even things that were very difficult had a purpose. I can say that. But if somebody else were to come and say to me, oh, well, all your pain happened for a reason, that would be spiritual bypassing. I kind of think membership in suffering has its privileges. You are the one who's allowed to make meaning of your suffering. If someone else is making meaning of your suffering, like, and kind of dismissing it, that's not crazy wisdom. But if you are able to see it, if you're able to see the perfection even of your own pain, that's crazy wisdom. I think it's a good place to start anyway. I want us to dedicate our practice today to my friend Claire Ossenbeck, who passed. I'm so sad. She was a wonderful woman. She was a body worker. She was an herbalist. She was vibrant. She was smart. She loved animals and plants. And I got notice last night that she passed. And so we're going to dedicate practice to her today. And now let's get into it. 3 prostrations before the shrine of Guanyin. And let's take refuge. Namo Guru Be. I take refuge in the inner teacher. Namo Buddhaye. I take refuge in the great mother of compassion. Namo Dharmaye. I take refuge in the wisdom of the ages. Namo Sangaye. I take refuge in the community of practitioners. And let's set our intention today for Claire Ossenbeck and all those who love her and will miss her in this earthly realm, and for her spirit to have a clean, clear, and successful passage through the middle realm before she enters the light. And let's recite the four immeasurables. May I be a source of loving kindness in this world and all worlds, bringing a generous heart to all my thoughts and doings. May I be a vehicle of compassion in this world and all worlds, ever mindful and aware of the tremendous suffering of others. May I be a brimming vessel of joy in this world and all worlds, delighting in the happiness of others as their suffering is alleviated. May I be a balance point of equanimity in this world and all worlds, seeing all as equals and all as deserving of goodness. I light this candle as a symbol of the enlightening Dharma way. May it shine brightly for the benefit of all beings. I light this incense as an offering to Guan Yin, she who hears the cries of the world, mother of all. Omahum. 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 Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind and present clouds of every type of offering, actual and virtual. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginningless time and rejoice in the meditation of all holy and ordinary beings. Please, Guan Yin, remain until the end of samsaric existence and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of others to the great enlightenment. Oh, where did my mala go? Hang on, let me get another one. So, Namo Guanxian Pusa. 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 Namo Guanxin 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 Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin 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 Pusa. Lama Dunkun Suksum Lakchak Salo, Dakni Changchut Nimpur, Chike Bar, Gandang Gandu Kipa, Detang, Der, Tadu Tuje, Champo Jetsin, Shing, Kusum Gewe Chula, Chapar, Sho, Jamdang Ninje, Champo Kunlang, Ne, Tuje Champo Dujar Kipa, Nam, Lame Changchut Chola, Gope Chir, Tuje Champo Trinle, Jepar, Sho. Homage to the Guru in Three Jewels. From now until I reach the essence of awakening, no matter where I may be reborn, in those places, may I always follow the great compassionate one and dedicate my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Inspired by loving kindness and great compassion, in order to lead all Mahakarunika's followers to supreme and unsurpassable awakening, may I carry out the great compassionate one's activity. Lama Dankun Shiksum Lakchak Salo, Dakni Changchut Nimpor Chike Bar, Gandang Gangdu Kipa Dedang Der, Tadu Tuje Champo Chetsin Shing, Gusum Gewe Chila Chapar Sho, Jamdang Nije Champo Kunlang Ne, Tuje Champo Duljar Girpa Nam, Lame Changchut Chola Gope Chir, Tuje Champo Trinle Jepar Sho. And 108 recitations of Om Mani Padme Hum, sending out our accumulated energies today to the spirit of Claire and all of those who love her. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 And let's give thanks for our teachers. May all of my blessed teachers enjoy long, happy, healthy, productive lives and great support for their good works. May all beings benefit from their wisdom. May they enjoy a swift and happy rebirth. And long life prayer for Lama Dechen Yeshe Wangmo. Om Swasti. Through the powerful blessings of the immortal Pema Jungye and his consort, may the three secret qualities of the Dakini of supreme bliss, Yeshe Wangmo, be utterly stable, and may the light of her activities shine on the lotus groves of the teachings and of beings, so that they blossom in radiant splendor. And let's dedicate the merit. May the merit of this practice and all of my activities be of endless benefit to all beings in all realms, beginningless and continuous. May all obstacles be overcome and suffering cease at the sound of liberation. May all beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all beings have happiness and its causes. May we carry the essence of Guanyin in our hearts. Namo Guanxin Pusa. We close with a bow to Guanyin, bow to one another, and a bow to the inner teacher. Wishing everyone a wonderful end of March, the month of Arya Tara. I won't be here Monday. I won't be here tomorrow because travel weekend. But then I'll be back on Tuesday broadcasting from the road. And we're going to be in the month of Aphrodite. And we will be doing the Sibylline hymn to Aphrodite and working with the Work Your Light Oracle by Rebecca Campbell and artwork by Danielle Noel. Looking forward to it. Take care and have a good one. Bye.